Good morning. Welcome back to our walk again through God's wisdom literature. We find ourselves in Proverbs chapter 19. We're going to go through the first 12 verses, 1 through 12. And in Proverbs 19, we have to understand something, that our eyes can be deceiving. Being able to understand foolishness, once again, this is the kind of closing part of this fourth section of the big section, 10 through 22, but this is 17 through 19. 12, we get to see this kind of ending aspect of the fourth little section in amongst this section. So we get to see 19, 1 through 12 is eyes are deceiving because wealth seems like success. Frankly, wisdom of the world or success like in the world can bring about fools. And frankly, friendship, if it's based upon wealth or success, they'll desert. So you'll get to see these contrasts. You'll get to see that right away. It'll talk about the wealthy man or the successful man. It'll speak to, frankly, a poor man as well. And this poor man, you got to envision this Proverbs 19 is kind of speaking to the same man, meaning that he might have wealth and success in this world, but don't let your eyes deceive you. He is poor in spirit, and he is poor in wisdom and understanding according to the fear and knowledge of God. And so he might seem successful and wealthy, but he is frankly dead in his sin and trespasses. He is frankly walking towards the road of everlasting condemnation. He is lying. He is in folly rather than the wisdom and understanding of God. And so that's what 19 kind of contrasts. I'll try to hold that together for you as we read together chapter 19, verses 1 through 12. Better a poor man whose walk is blameless than a fool's whose lips are perverse. Better that he has nothing in this world, but he's walking righteously, than a fool, frankly, whose lips are perverse, meaning he gets gain by saying certain things and promising certain things. That's foolish because that's not the wisdom of God. Verse 2, it is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way. In a couple chapters, you'll get to see that haste is really seen here as it can lead to poverty. Because as you do it in a hasty way, making decisions, frankly, having zeal and having excitement and energy, yes, absolutely, but if you don't do it without the knowledge and the wisdom of God, then you're just doing your own glory. And so don't be hasty to miss the way, meaning that in the Hebrew there, it's really speaking about go in the way of sin. So miss the way is the righteous way. And if you do it too hasty and too much with zeal without knowledge, you'll go your way in the sinful way. Verse 3, a man's own folly ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. So we can understand that this temporal life, that we can ruin this temporal life with our folly, with our misunderstandings, with our directions. But when our heart rages against the Lord, frankly, that folly turns into an eternal consequence. And that is just having his rage against the Lord. That's that I don't even know what the words to describe it. That's not the way we want to walk. Number 4, wealth brings many friends, but a poor man's friend deserts him. So here's that wealth and that poor man being the same man. We get to see wealth brings many friends. It's going to invite him in. But a poor man's friends, same friends, are going to desert him. Because they don't have anything foundational. It's not really friendship, it's dealt on wealth and success. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will not go free. There's consequences to our folly. Verse 6, many curry favor with a ruler, and everyone is the friend of a man who gives gifts. A poor man is shunned by all his relatives. How much more do his friends avoid him? Right? Though he pursues them with pleading, they are nowhere to be found. And so his words aren't going to be able to work. His wealth and his success, they might gain friends for a short season, but even his relatives will keep a hand from him because they understand that he is working in folly, that he is poor. He is poor rather than wealth, as it seems, and his eyes, people's eyes are deceived. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul, and he who cherishes understanding prospers. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who pours out lies will perish. It is not fitting for a fool to live in luxury. How much worse for a slave to rule over princes? So it's not fitting for a fool to live in luxury, that he might have that deception of, I'm wealthy, I'm successful, but he's a poor man. And being able to see there, how much worse for a slave, right? He is a slave to his sin, to rule over princes. He doesn't have a hold on understanding and knowledge of God. So how is he supposed to lead people? Verse 11, a man's wisdom gives him patience. It is his glory to overlook an offense, his own selfishness to overlook an offense or sin. You don't overlook sin, it'll always lead to death. Verse 12, as we wrap up here, a king's rage is like the roar of a lion, but his favor is like dew on the grass. And as we get to see there, the king's rage is well known. It's right out in front of you. But his favor is like the dew of a grass. It just happens. It's very quietly, but is present. But it should be more in front of people. Our favor and, frankly, God's glory and his wisdom should be in front of people. And that's our prayer for today. Lord, just use us this day. Use us every day according to your glory and your will. Let us not follow our own folly. Let us not look at wealth and success as the prosperity in this world, but let us look at wealth and success as on how much we know your word and understand your wisdom and get to understand, frankly, the love of Jesus Christ in our life. That is so successful in our lives because it brings joy and forgiveness and is going to impact others around us. So, Father, just bless and keep us this day, always in your favor and in your care. I pray this in your name. Amen.